take our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera. Yeah. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go! Yeah! My name is Brian, that is Shane. You are watching The BRANE Show. What's up, everybody?
What's up?
John is not here today. Throw all your best well wishes and prayers his way. He had a family emergency. Oh. Trust me, he wanted to be here, but he was like, dude, it's not going to happen. So, throw him that way. We are wishing him well, and I'm sure he'll be back tomorrow. That said, I am here, and Shane is here. And how you doing today, Shane?
I'm doing good. Prayers go out to John and his family for everything he's going through. Good to see all of you fine live chatters with us, all of our people who are every week. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Now, listen, we got a new challenge today. I'm just going to get all the business out of the way real quick. First off, last week we did have a winner of the mystery shirt. Okay, we had a winner. Surprise, surprise! It was Kenneth Rook.
Surprise, surprise!
Surprise, surprise! It was Ken. So Ken, you are the winner of the mystery thing. I'll get your information and get you that. You gave more than enough to cover the shipping. Thank you, sir.
Ken is in the system. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's
multi-buyer, so you don't need his address. You can just send that right to him.
Oh, right. Let's go, bro.
In the system, Ken.
Let's go. Well, we have a new challenge today, but first I do have to do some I guess what's it called, the shilling for our website. I gotta do it. I don't have a choice. This is mixtease.com. Go check out some cool stuff. Our own category, the BRANE Show, has some really awesome stuff. My hat, Shane's shirt, our Thailand. Where is shirt? Here it is. Our Thailand shirt, which is an inside joke that only you really old brainiacs will get. But a lot of other cool stuff from Neurotic, Podcast, Salty Nerd, etc., etc., etc. Well, listen, today, and the grab bag. That's the big thing lately.
Well, that's the big new thing. Yeah. Listen, if you're on a budget, but you need some clothing, this is the way to go, because we promise you all the designs are super cool. So grab one of those mystery grab bags. It helps out the channel. And
yeah, basically each shirt's $10, but you just don't know what you're gonna get. It's like, you know what it's like? It's like a present, and you don't know what you're gonna get. You're just gonna get 3 awesome designs. And
each shirt's $10, and then each hoodie's $20, which is like more than half off.
Right,
I think.
Yeah. And to be honest, the grab bag stuff, that is the overstock. That's the stuff that we might have printed a little too much of, but people really liked it. Sometimes people will start buying one design and we go, oh no, we better print a bunch of shirts before we run out. And then that video gets, it's no longer popular because it's not new and people stop buying it. And now we have like 3 dozen of these shirts. So that's the overstock. But today I'm not giving away a mystery bag. I'm giving away my coveted limited edition Terry Trek hat.
Oh, I'm glad you're giving away yours.
Yeah,
I am not giving away mine.
I know. So I've only worn this white once. I wore it on stream. I literally put it on and took it off. This is a coveted Terry Trek hat, and it's the only one in the red bill. You see the red bill? I call it the expendable bill, because they don't make this hat anymore. They don't make this 5-panel, whatever, red bill hat. So this is going to go to one lucky person, assuming I can afford the shipping. So the top super chatter today will get this hat shipped over to them.
What's cool is there's probably like maybe a half a dozen in the whole world out there of these hats. So it's special.
Well, and there's only one red bill, and they stopped making the red bill hats.
Oh, I know. Right.
I know. You know why I have a black flag hat? Because I couldn't get my red bill hat.
No.
They stopped making them. So that's the last of the expendable Terry Trek hats.
I prefer the black, but yeah.
Yes. And maybe you do too. But either way, that hat's like $40. So if you bought it brand new. Okay, guys. We have a lot to discuss today. First, we do have politics. We have Greenland. We have the ice stuff. We got the meme review. We got new AI news. It's a lot of really fun stuff. But I did want to, and if Shane, if that's cool with you, I wanted to start with the latest thing that's going on right now.
Absolutely. You rock the show. We'll just do what we got to do.
Okay. So we're going to talk about, just to be clear, we're going to talk about that shooting.
John wants to know how he enters. How do these people enter?
Basically the highest super chatter today will get the hat.
Dang, that's
and just as long as it covers the shipping. It's like if 17 people give like, $1, then that might cover it. But I gotta cover the shipping. The shipping on that hat's about $13. If I can cover the shipping, it's yours.
Depending on where you live, I guess. But yeah,
right. No, I said $13 because like pretty much anywhere in the domestic United States, I can ship for $13.
Well, yeah. What about our overseas people?
Oh yeah, I mean that might be more difficult. So again, assuming I can cover the shipping, you'll get
because John's in Canada, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canada's in Canada.
Well, we definitely covered the shipping for Canada last week. That's for sure. Yeah. I think
I have no idea. I have no idea what it costs to ship it overseas. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. Listen, if I can cover the shipping, you got it. This channel doesn't make really any money. It costs us money, so we don't want to spend too much additional money on something that
we recognize how much of you guys support us. So don't feel compelled to go beyond your means.
Yeah. No. Please do not. So we are going to start with this. We're just so you know, if it's cool, we start with that shooting, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's totally news right now happening right now.
Okay, guys, check out the new stinger. Hey, this is the BRANE Show, and we are going to be talking about this new, the news that just popped, where, according to Mixed Order, breaking new angle shows the struggle between armed suspect and Border Patrol agents who were forced to fire defensive shots. This was captured by the woman in pink standing behind the scuffle, and I'm going to put this on the screen right now.
And I believe I've identified a couple of the things that are happening, and we can, if you want to play it through once, then we can talk about it, slow it down or whatever.
Yeah, we're going to play it through. Sorry, but by the way, sorry about the whistling, guys. There's almost nothing more obnoxious, by the way, than this insensate whistling. Every video I see now about ICE has whistling. I
think is it supposed to be a warning that ICE is there?
I'm assuming, but it's the most annoying thing, dude. It's so obnoxious.
They know it's annoying. That's why they're doing it.
So I think 2026 is going to go down as the year where Karens were now associated with multicolored hair, septum rings, and whistles. Oh my God, that's obnoxious.
Go.
Oh my God.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Can I just pause it real quick?
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed, all these protesters keep doing the same thing. While they're filming, they're saying, "What the F is wrong with you? Aren't you human? What the F is wrong with you? What the F is wrong with you?"
Yeah. I think that's their call to action. You know, they're trying to make them, because they know they're videotaping it and they know that it does double damage. Not only are you, calling them out, but on the video, you're basically sending the message that what they're doing is inhuman. That's the message they're trying to send.
You want to dehumanize these people.
And they're gaslighting whoever's watching their video to make their echo chamber even that much louder.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Bear spray. Bear mace.
The fuck, people! The fuck is wrong with you?
Here we go.
Honestly.
I'm sorry about the volume. It's so loud. I probably could AI out the whistling, which is funny.
Did you just do?
Okay, so the rest of the video is the guy's dead here, or at least severely injured. Now she spends the rest of the video saying exactly the same thing for like the next 30 seconds. They do come in and try to administer first aid after this happens. But the important thing that happens here is, you know, if you go back to the beginning of the video, and you can even turn off the volume if you want, mute it. But it shows kind of the actions of what occurred here. So a couple things that you need to know. The guy on the ground that gets shot is carrying a firearm. He actually, according to news outlets, it says he was legally carrying. It is in Minnesota. The temperature is minus 10 degrees outside during this. So number one, let me tell you, I don't know who the hell wants to be out in minus 10 degrees. I've been out that way. I don't want to be out for more than like 30 seconds. So the people involved have very high emotions running to want to be outside doing this at minus 10 degrees. Okay. So the people involved in this are highly passionate about what's happening here. Okay. This person, if you go back, are you going to go back to the beginning and do it again?
Yeah, I can do that.
There's nothing happens here. It's all, they just do CPR.
We turn the volume off, guys, because the whistling is obnoxious.
It's too much. So as you see, you've got these protesters here. Now, what is protesting? Like in the United States, what are you allowed to do as protesting? So one of the things you can't do, illegal protesting, is blocking the flow of traffic.
Okay, wait.
So like,
can you stop right there real quick?
Sure.
On that point. If that is illegal, which I believe you, for the last 6 years, almost every protest I've seen is mother effers blocking traffic, literally holding entire rows, dozens, if not hundreds of cars in some places, hostage. If that's protesting, and that's illegal, why the hell aren't they being arrested?
Right. So here's the problem. There's a history of this type of thing happening. So in order to have peaceful protest, you actually are supposed to put in a request to do a protest. So initially you put in a request to do a protest. And if, let's say, you want to do a sit-in or you want to have signs, you have to be on a public area, on a sidewalk, not blocking or impeding the flow of traffic or into like an institution. You can't do any of that stuff. If you can, then as you've seen in the past, perhaps years ago, people who would do a sit-in would get carried away by police and arrested. Well, we stopped doing that at some point, usually probably right around COVID and just before. We stopped enforcing that because honestly, there were so many people, it was impossible. They were protesting. It was impossible to lock them all up. We didn't have
So you're telling me you can't go into a church and start yelling at people?
You can't go into a church and start yelling at people. Well, I mean, I think you can actually, yeah. But
you're going to it had to be public property and not a private institution.
Yeah, if you're protesting.
If you're protesting,
so
you can't
go into a church with signs and be like, I'm protesting you. It has to be outside. It has to be on public property.
So Don Lemon broke the law then last week.
Yes, Don Lemon broke the law. But in this instance here, and what's happening to all these ICE people and the people protesting is they're trying to stop ICE. They're not protesting ICE. They're trying to stop them from doing what they've been ordered to do. And these are federal agents. These are people who've been empowered by the federal government to do what they're doing. So,
by the way, they are law enforcement agents. They're federal law enforcement agents, officers. Just to be clear. And people that tell you otherwise are wrong.
Yeah, well, they're lying. Here's the thing. Now, before we go any further on the video, this is important because what all of these people are doing are illegal. All of them, except the people who are filming from the sidewalk. That is absolutely not illegal. As long as you're not in the middle of what they're trying to accomplish, you can film all you want from a distance. Okay. So the lady in pink who's filming right here, she's not doing anything wrong other than being incredibly annoying. Okay. By screaming and yelling. Okay. But there's no law against that. But these people who are in the street trying to stop them from impede their progress. And that's the reason they've brought them here. Now, the ICE agents you can tell they're upset because one of them ends up shoving a lady, right, off to the side, even though they're kind of off and they're not moving fast enough for the ICE agents. So they're pissed. You can tell the ICE agents are pissed. They're tired of dealing with this. and there's probably a little bit of an overreaction here. But what ends up happening is, if you roll forward a little more, you'll see the person with the backpack here. Okay, she gets shoved. You see that girl get shoved?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so that's an ICE agent who shoved that girl. I'm not sure why he did that. I don't know if that was necessary. I know he's upset, but unfortunately, when you're police, when you're a federal agent, you need a little bit of self-control. Okay, and you need to maintain your composure when other people can't. I'm sorry, it sucks that you got to do that, but that is the way it goes. Now, if you go forward a little further here. Okay, they're trying to pull this person off. All right, now they've come in with the bear spray.
Yeah, the bear spray.
Right. Now they've got these people off to the side of the road.
Okay.
At this point, I'm not sure what they're trying to get them to comply to do. Are they arresting them? Are they trying to get them away from the scene? What I see is they're trying to do that, but I also see some really upset ICE agents, right?
I don't know what they're trying. Oh, they're trying to cuff her.
Now they've pulled him. Now the guy with the gun was trying to assist the girl that was pushed, and now they pulled him off of her, and now they're trying to subdue him, and it looks like they're trying to arrest him. At least I hope that's what they're trying to do, because there was a lot of them. And at one point, don't go too far. Don't go too.
Oh, okay, I gotta back up a little bit. Yeah,
you may have to go with slow-mo actually on some of this. Okay,
can't go slow-mo on Twitter. I don't think. Let me see.
You can't. Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, I can.
You just hit stop and go. Yeah. So what happens is they get the guy on the ground, but he's struggling. Right? He's struggling. At this point, no, this has already happened. Go back.
Okay, go back. Right here.
Here, yes. Okay. If you watch this guy on the left, the one who's got the beanie on, or let's see, the one that's walking up right now. You'll see when he pulls out his firearm. So the guy on the bottom down here is actually pistol whipping him from the side. On the right, you can see him come in and he's pistol whipping him from the side. You'll see when the guy on the ground pulls out his firearm, and I don't know how, with all these 5 guys on him, he was able to pull out his gun.
Right.
But somehow he did. They start to back up. The guy on the left pulls out his weapon. It seems like the guy on the ground discharged first, but it's hard to tell. And I can't see the gun at this point. It's just not close enough.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the volume
on. And then
on.
the ICE agents unload into him. So, but it's obvious that the ICE agents didn't fire first because they all fall back. And if you're firing into somebody, you're not going to be falling back.
All right, let's play it with audio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. So you see his right hand go up when he's getting up, and that's when the gun goes off. And they fall back real quick. Oh, he shoots twice, and then they unload into him.
Here's the $1 million question, and this is why the media and everybody who's doing what they're doing on social media is so wrong. This guy, once he's being subdued by 5 people, he should give up. He should be like, okay, I'm being arrested. I've protested. Now I'm being arrested. And this is what I knew was going to happen when I came out here. But for some reason, he decides he's going to try to shoot these guys.
Right.
Which tells me he either believes one of 2 things. He believes he's going to be killed by ICE and he has to defend himself. Right. Or he's just a maniac. But why would he believe that ICE is going to kill him? Because that's what everybody keeps saying ICE is doing.
Yeah, that's the problem. The problem is everyone keeps calling ICE Gestapo, Nazis. They said they're going into places, homes, and killing people and are arresting mothers and children. This rhetoric has got to stop. And these people on the left, there should be responsibility at play here. The fact that they are actively lying, like people like Brian Kranzenstein, that douchebag, actively promoting violence toward law enforcement officers, actively promoting extreme lies, showing 3 seconds of a 3-minute clip, and I'm gonna show you guys another example of this nonsense. This has got to stop. These people are inciting violence, and it's not just online influencers and crazy leftists. It is congressmen. It is politicians. It's governors and mayors that are all on the left. Leftist politicians are calling for violence. They're saying stuff like, what they're doing is Gestapo, Nazism, fascism, and when Trump's out of office, we're going to come after them and their families. Like literal congressmen are saying that. I'll show you guys an example. It's insane. It's got to stop. And you know what? The reason why that woman, Renee Good, was killed was that. The reason this man was probably killed was because of that. The reason this violence is happening is because you are radicalizing a bunch of people that are already on medication. You need to stop. You got to stop radicalizing a bunch of people that are already a little nuts, because they think that a lot of these people think they're doing the right thing, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, what needs to happen is, and you're 100% right, Brian, but what needs to happen is these people need to be arrested the moment they do something. The ICE is letting them, ICE needs to partner with local law enforcement, that when these things start happening, right, law enforcement comes in, arrests them, and takes them away. The fact that this guy has a legal carry permit, okay, let's say he's legally allowed to carry, and he's getting into an altercation with federal law enforcement. You know how stupid you have to be to take a gun into that environment, and then, you know, whether they saw the gun and they were trying to take it from him, which it's hard to tell exactly what was going on, but it seemed like they were desperately trying to get something from him, because they were, they were all on him, attacking him. So either they were just beating him up and Rodney Kinging his ass, which is possible, I guess, but then gunshots go off. So there's still a lot more for us to learn here. There has been not very much official information put out about this, because it did just recently happen. We'll be following it closely, but
this is another thing too. Kenneth says something really important here. Local law enforcement has to be willing to help ICE. That's another issue.
Yeah, that's a problem.
JD Vance covered this a couple days ago. There's a big problem that in these leftist Democrat-ran cities, law enforcement is being told and urged to not assist ICE. In fact, they're being told to not help the federal officers at all, and even to hinder them when available, which is ridiculous. That is lawlessness that cannot be allowed to happen. Let me tell you something. There needs to be some serious repercussions for the governors, the mayors, and the police chiefs who actively promote treasonous, traitorous insurrection acts. Pam Bondi should be on the phone. There should be Supreme Court justices in these states and active arrests being made for politicians like that mayor, like these congressmen who are out there telling law enforcement officers to not help federal law enforcement officers. Well,
they're using politics to play with people's lives. All it is a political move for all of these governors and these congressmen and senators. This is a political maneuver for them that's costing people's lives. So what they're going to have to do is, if the local law enforcement won't do it, we're going to have to, have more resources at the federal level, where the ICE agents can be backed up by more federal law enforcement. That's just the way it's going to have to be. And listen, if local law enforcement won't help, and they got to call up the National Guard to come in and make sure that these protesters will stop getting themselves killed, right? Let's be honest about what's happening here. You bring in the National Guard, and you have them remove these people from these scenes.
Well, yeah, but it's got to start at the top. It can't just start with the protesters. We need to start with the politicians.
You can't do anything about that, though. The problem is
no. It's completely illegal for you to publicly call to impede federal law enforcement. It's completely illegal.
Well, it's a much deeper level. So states' rights came before federal rights. And I know our country has changed a lot in the last 200 plus years, 250 years. But the reality is that states' rights always trumped federal rights. And there's never been a need for them not to work together. So we're having that happen.
Sorry, I got a question for you. What right is being upended? You said that Trump state rights trump federal rights. Yeah. What right is trumping what right here? They are actively breaking the law. It's not right to free speech. There's no right to free speech when you're inciting violence. There's none.
Those people are, but what I'm saying is the governors, by not having law enforcement help ICE, they're not breaking the law. They're making a choice.
But they're also inciting violence.
Well, that's something else.
That's not protected under free speech.
You're right. And so, but once you start going down that road, that's going to happen to both sides of the aisle. right? And I don't know if these federal people want
It
to.
should. Yeah, let it happen to the right wing. If right wing politicians do the same thing, arrest them.
Right, but the reason why they're not holding left wing politicians accountable is because they don't know if they want to hold right wing politicians accountable. That's why it's not happening. You notice how politicians are never held accountable for anything?
Ever. Okay, let me show you guys another example of just absolute falsities that are getting people killed. Shane, you can see this, right?
The close up picture here.
Yeah, you guys remember this shot? This shot was recent. Dude, whoever took this picture made a lot of money. Okay, The media ran with this picture for a long time. Whatever leftist photographer got this picture, I'm happy for them. Here's the reality. It's a picture of a guy being maced in the face. Here's the reality. Ready?
The latest outrage is this poor guy who was pinned down and they're just macing him in the face for hours on end. Or if you watch the video, they had him pinned down, let him up. He tries to make a break for it again, so they push him to the ground, and right as he hits the ground, helpful guy with the mace gives him one quick shot in the face.
That's what happened.
That's the media.
But that photographer got that perfect shot at the exact moment because he has one of those cameras that take like 1,000 pictures a second.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they ran with that for an entire day, bro.
Let me tell you, when you're waging a war, the war for propaganda is all it's about. And just because, the left and these crazy people are creating their own propaganda. Like we talked about before with the constant yelling out, what are you doing? The constant accusatory slurs that are happening on the street while this is happening. There's a reason why they want that in their video, because they want the people watching it to, get the emotion of these guys are doing something wrong, even if they may not be doing anything wrong. Because she started saying, what are you doing? Way before they ever even did anything to those people. She was doing it. If you notice, they were just in the middle of the street, right? When she started screaming, what's wrong with you? What are you doing?
Right.
They hadn't even done anything to them yet.
Right.
So this is calculated. Bro.
And we'll end this segment on an example of a politician. By the way, there are many. I'm not going to go through the 7 dozen plus examples I've found of Democrats using radical brain rot individuals' lives to further their political careers. But I did want to focus on this guy because he's especially reprehensible. This is Swalwell. You know who this guy is?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I like to call him Chinese spy.
He's the one who got taken advantage of.
Yeah. He was literally dating a Chinese honeypot, which is hilarious. I got to know who decided to allow him to stay in office. But
his constituents, brother.
It's a wild thing. If you are holding public office and you get caught with foreign spies, you should be impeached immediately.
Yeah, you're right.
There should be no gray area here. You are, whether intentional or not, you are a traitor. You cannot hold public office if you are a traitor. Sorry.
You would think so. Well, he claimed to not know and be, so he
whether you know or not, if you're too stupid to know you're a patsy, you got to go. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, this is Swalwell.
What does it say about the people who voted for him again? So I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're ill-informed, brain damaged, or they don't care. All right. Here we go.
Have to work for ICE. And so when I'm governor, if you're still working for ICE, you haven't got the message that as governor, I'll use my emergency powers and I'll tell as
governor, I'll use my emergency powers, by the way. Wow. Wild stuff.
Well, I mean, all politicians do it, brother.
Right.
Even the president.
Agent.
It's true.
We are not, as a policy, hiring ICE agents because right now, these guys doing this work, it's a decision. No one's holding a gun and saying you have to work for ICE. And so when I'm governor, if you're still working for ICE, and you haven't got the message that no one's asking you to do this, you won't be hired in the state. And it's part of an approach that says either we can be on our heels as the most vulnerable in our community, or
okay, hold on. Oh, so what he's saying is, if you go work for ICE, you can never work for our state. You can never work in our state.
Right.
So it's essentially a threat. They're using their political power to, try to control people. Does that sound like the kind of government you want?
Yeah. Right. So the reason this is the worse for me because most of these other people are like shrouding their threats of violence with just enough semantics, calling them Nazis or Gestapo. It's just like the Nazis. These are Anne Frank and whatever nonsense. That can all be explained away as passionate analogies, right? Sure. But this is a direct statement, and he is threatening the livelihood of anyone who worked for ICE, which is wild.
Yeah, he's basically saying we don't want you in our state, which I'm not sure you want to live in his state anyways.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, so that's the end of this segment. Let us know what you guys think in the chat and in the comments below. It's pretty wild. We'll be covering this as it goes on. I do hope that this is ended soon. I'm really sensing yet another summer of love happening, like the BLM riots. And here's the problem I have with this. I understood the BLM riots couldn't really be handled. It was very difficult for Trump and company to deal with that, given the position they're in. But Trump and co. now have 3 years left in office. They have all the resources they need, and they have the majority of voters on their side. There should be no reason why this is allowed to fester to a point where people are further damaged. And I'm not saying that they go in there and kill people. Not at all. I'm saying that this is why I said the politicians, the police, the chief of police, the people that are at the top of this, that are pushing this bullcrap, they need to be made examples of. Don Lemon should be arrested publicly. Yeah. He should be arrested and arraigned publicly.
Yeah, we should go to the next. But let me also just be clear. If you do want to protest, let's say you don't agree with what's going on with ICE, and that's your right as an American to protest, do so the correct way. Okay, if you think that you can stop these ICE agents from doing what they're supposed to be doing, it will end badly for you. Get out of the street. Stop blocking. You know what you want to do? Get on the sidewalk, get out of where they're making their arrests, and videotape. If that's what you want to do. Protest. Okay? Submit those videotapes. And if the ICE agents are doing things the way they're not supposed to be doing things, then the world will know. That's the way you protest in America. You don't try to get in there and play, Rambo and try to stop it yourself, because you're just going to end up getting killed. So that's my message.
Yeah, you're right. What I was saying, though, is the reason why the Trump and company and the DOJ and the FBI need to deal with this is because it's only going to get worse if you ignore it. It's not going to go away. People aren't going to get tired of this and then just decide that they want to go home now. That's not going to happen, because the temperature is being stirred and brought up by people that want to utilize this for political purposes, right?
Yeah, there's just not a whole lot they can do. And let's be clear.
I disagree.
There's not a whole lot that you can do, because there's only so much federal manpower that we have. That's the issue. The problem is because the states...
Insurrection Act?
You can totally use the Insurrection Act. But once you do that, there's going to be other consequences. It's going to be more political posturing, and I think it's the last thing that Trump should want to do.
So arrest the people that are breaking the law, not just the protesters, the politicians, the mayors, the chief of police, the Don Lemons, the people at the top, the people with influence. If they break the law in any degree, you steal a cookie, throw the book at them.
I get what you're saying.
Make a statement.
I'm just saying, here's the thing. Because of the way Trump uses his language, right? And because of the way that he speaks, it's going to be pitched in a way that's going to make them lose the midterm elections if they're not careful about how they respond. And if they lose the midterm elections and they lose the Congress and the Senate, then they're going to be able to roadblock Trump a lot more than they are now. So you just need to be careful about how you don't give him too much ammunition, is what I'm saying. Is it better for a couple of protesters to die that are doing the wrong thing, or because of their own choices, or do you force it all to stop, but at the same time, perhaps lose the midterm elections. That's what I would say.
I get what you're saying. Listen, I get what you're saying logically. The Spock in me is saying, well, these people, you know, they are putting their lives at risk. It's on them. The midterms are matter more. But the humanitarian me says, I do not want people to die even if they're nuts. I don't want people to lose their lives even if they have brain trauma or if they're propagandized. And like, honestly, every time you wake up in the morning is a chance for you to change your mind. Every time you wake up the next day is a chance for you to be better than the day where you were before. And these people can grow up. They can mature. They can learn new things. And once they die, we eliminate that ability for them to be saved.
Yeah, man. I've said it a million times. Most of these young people would end up dying in wars. We just don't have any for them for this generation. So, you know, and that's how you grow up and you learn. Okay. I'm sorry. You learn through making mistakes. Yeah. And unfortunately, some people make mistakes that you can't come back from. And I'm sad for them. But this is why it's so important you get out of your echo chamber. It's so important that you don't get radicalized. I am spending all of my time trying to make sure my kids don't get radicalized by the internet. Okay. Because these people have been radicalized. Let's face it.
The other day you said something really profound to me, Shane. You said, there's only room for one radical ideology in this country.
That's right. There's only room for one.
Which one?
God bless America. That's it. No, that's it. And being American, being a patriotic American is the only radical ideology that we need in our country.
The only radical ideology allowed in the United States is your pride of the United States.
I love America.
That's it. Every other ideology's got to go. Okay? Mm-hmm. Every other radical ideology. You can have other ideas. Freedom of religion is very important. I'm a Christian man. But the only radical ideology allowed in this country is America. Yes. That's it. Okay. So that's all I want to say about that. I do hope it's solved. I think there's a way to solve it without the Insurrection Act. But who knows? I don't know. That's good luck to them.
Just hire more federal officials, federal agents. Get them out there. Get them in the streets with the ICE agents. Have a facility you can take them to, even if it's across state lines. Do what you got to do.
Right. I agree. Okay. So this next topic, before we do more topics, we got super chats. Before the next topic, good super chats, and the next topic we're gonna talk about. So first off, guys, we're gonna talk about the goth chick saving Great Britain. That's great, and we're also going to. There's a lot of stuff we're gonna talk about. So don't leave. We're gonna get to that. Amelia is my favorite character right now. Shane has no idea what we're talking about.
I don't, but it's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, he's gonna find out. Amelia is a really cool character. I love seeing based UK lads stepping up to the plate. It's almost like watching what was happening in 2016 when finally the silent majority decided to say, yeah, I'm tired of this. It's nice. So we'll get there. But first, super chats. John Burns, member for 17 months, says, I'm definitely Canadian. I'm resisting.
Yeah, resist.
Thank you, John. And thank you for being a member, my friend. And thank you to all the members. You guys are the reason we're here. Kenneth the Rogue for $20. What a mad lad. For the shipping. What a mad lad.
Brian's been spending a lot of time with John by using that term.
Mad lad is a term we were using in the 90s.
But I don't remember
that. Legendary, Ken. It's something that it was a gaming term.
Oh,
nice. When you got like an ace in Counter-Strike or whatever, the mad lad.
Thank you so much, Ken.
Ken the Rogue, thank you, man. You continue to impress me, my friend. That's our super producer. He's literally a producer level supporter on all of our channels. Thank you, brother. John Burns for $2.79. Thank you, sir. He said, for the Shire. Brian did not research. Nice. I don't know what that means, bro.
That's the other ICE agents, the nice ones.
Oh, the nice.
I have no idea, actually, but sounds good.
So I found out today that I actually know an ICE agent.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to dox the guy right now, but a guy I served in the military with, who, by the way, is very Hispanic. Like, he's very Hispanic. Not going to say his name. He's an Hispanic guy.
Did he give you any insights?
Huh?
Did he tell you anything interesting?
Oh, no. I just texted him the other day. I'm like, because I know where he lives and it's near trouble. And I'm like, hey man, how's it going over there? You good? He goes, these people are nuts, bro. I'm like, yeah, it sucks. And he's like, tell me about it. I'm out here wearing riot gear right now. I'm like, you're on the job? Wait, are you in ICE? He goes, oh yeah, I joined like a year and a half ago. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, you need to get some info from him.
I'll ask him for some.
Yeah,
so he's a super Hispanic guy that actually joined ICE. Let me tell you something. Guy's one of the nicest guys I know ever. He is not a bad guy at all. He's extremely nice dude. He's got kids. He served in the military. He's full term. He did more than I did. He got deployed like Kosovo, Iraq. Guy never came back with like, you know, a lot of these guys, a lot of my friends came back with like serious issues, like angry, they drank too much. Not this guy. He is always been a rock solid, real nice dude. He would not hurt a fly. He's very good at being a soldier, which makes sense because before he signed up for ICE, I remember last time he told me when he left the military, he was working as like a waste management guy. So I think that was not challenging enough for him. And
well, those places smell really bad. Just heads up, it's the most awful smell you could smell.
Yeah, I don't know what he did in waste management. I don't know if he was the trash guy on the truck or.
Oh, I see.
I don't know what he did. All I remember is he worked in waste management, and it was because the money was good. But I think that he probably joined ICE because, I mean,
money's better.
He's just better at it.
Money's better too.
And the money's better.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, I'll try to get some insight for next week. Also, Harambe Jeremiah. It doesn't show your real names. I'm sorry, guys. All right, guys. The stupid thing now is just showing the @ which is so dumb. These YouTube changes, man.
Hembre Jeremiah, 645.
Are we going to talk about goth chicks are saving Britain? Because yes, we are, sir. And thank you for being a member for 2 months. Oh, he's a new member. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. John Burns, you think -10 is cold? Really? Blimey, Canada. Yeah, well, we live in California, bro. So
I'm sorry, man. -10 is cold. Let me tell you what,
bro. I'm sorry. My +40 is cold. Okay,
I was gonna say, like,
let's not play around here.
50's cold where I'm at. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, bro. When I go outside and it's like 45 degrees, I'm like, this is too cold. It's because I'm from California. If I was from Canada or Minnesota or whatever, maybe the cold wouldn't bother me. But I don't like being cold. I also don't like being super hot. And it's because I was fortunate enough, and now probably unfortunate, to be born and raised in California. Now, I can't afford a house for my entire life if I stay here. But you know what? I'm never going to be too hot or too cold.
That's right. You're paying that sunshine tax, bro.
It's a temperate location to live in. The minus cold is cold. Yes, -10 is cold. Okay, anything that can freeze water is too cold.
I remember being in Texas and it was like -2, and I had to get out of the car to get something out of the back. I thought my skin was on fire, bro. Literally, I was like, I thought my skin was, it was so cold that it was burning my skin. I'm like, I need to get back in the car before I die.
So cold. I was in where's Fort Lost in the Woods?
Fort Lost in the Woods?
I'm sorry. Not lost. That's the slang term. I'm forgetting the name right now. It's been so long. Anyways, when I was in basic, I was in starts with an M.
Were you in South Carolina?
Not South Carolina. Oh, I did go to South Carolina for airborne, but before that for basic.
I don't know where you guys go.
It was I'm forgetting right, Fort Lost. Someone in the chat help me.
In the southeast,
we called it first Fort Lost in the Woods. Fort something. Starts with an L. Anyways, when I was there, someone in the chat helped me out. Missouri. Thank you. God dang.
It's called It's called Fort Leonard Wood.
Fort Leonard Wood, yeah. So I did basic in there, and so Missouri is weird because in the winter it's freezing. Like when I say freezing, I'm talking about snow, freezing temperatures, and in the summer it's like 104. It's such an extreme difference. And I joined up, okay? I joined up in, I think it was February is when I joined. So I went to basic around summertime or ish. And I started when it was like insanely hot. Like flies the size of your fist would land on you and just punch you in the face while you are dripping sweat wearing 50 pounds of gear. Yeah. And I hate it. And then it started to get colder and I was like, oh, this is not bad. I can handle this. And then it got really fucking cold. Like really cold. Like to the point where hand warmers did nothing. I used to pack my gloves with like 14 hand warmers and I'm just sitting there in formation trying to not freeze to death. The worst ever. I'm never going back to that flyover state.
Missouri.
Missouri. Yeah. Missouri.
Misery.
Yeah, it was miserable. Yeah, in South Carolina, Fort Jackson was fine. Like maybe it was the time I went, but like temperature was great. I had a good time. Nice. Met some cool people. Played. We did a lot of bowling. Went to the movies all the time. It was fantastic.
I did a lot of bowling when I was in the military.
Yeah, I did a lot of bowling too. Did you do a lot of bowling?
Oh yeah, that was like every installation had a bowling alley.
Yeah, everything had bowling. Yeah, bowling alley. Right.
The bowling alley. Yeah.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time at the bowling alley, and playing billiards, pool.
Oh yeah.
Okay. John Burns, thank you again. He said check out Don Lemon and his new show, Lawbreaker.
Yep.
And from our boy John Yulden, my dude, for $5, took the time to come on here, even though he's got to do what he's got to do. Thank you, John. Unable to join the show tonight, but give these bros of mine a like and subscribe. Oh, and Academy sucks. Yeah. Listen, I don't agree with you on that one.
Let me tell you something. Brian, I was so shocked because Brian hasn't told me anything about. I didn't even know he was watching Starfleet Academy. Not doesn't surprise me he's watching it. But when I saw a post that said, I actually like Starfleet Academy. We haven't talked about this.
I didn't say like.
I'm enjoying it, I believe is what you said.
I said, yeah, I didn't hate it.
No. I saw what it said. You said, I'm actually enjoying it.
Okay, we got to see what I said. I don't remember saying
that. So I got concerned, bro. I started wondering if he was maybe like had been kidnapped and something was happening. So now which is something I swore I wouldn't do.
Okay.
I now have to watch the show to find out what has happened to my brother. And possibly it's
okay, hold the phone. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Okay. First off, I'm not saying I like the show. Okay? I like the main character, Caleb. I think the actor that's playing him is very good. And most importantly, it's his first job. It's his first acting gig. He has not had an acting gig. This is his first real acting gig.
So you like one actor in the show?
No.
You said I'm enjoying it.
More than that. I also like not just that actor. I like the actress that plays Genesis. I think she's great.
Okay.
I like the actor that plays the Klingon, although I think they might make him gay, which will be a problem for me.
Wait, how many episodes have you seen?
Only 3.
Okay.
It could totally spiral and tailspin out of control.
I have to then watch 3 episodes and find out if you're crazy. Now, to be clear, Brian also kind of liked Strange New Worlds.
Well, in the first season, yeah.
No, you continued to watch him and said it wasn't so bad.
No. It changed when I saw the dancing Klingon episode. That completely that ruined it for me. I was over it.
Okay, but I thought you kept watching it and said it wasn't so bad.
Well, I kept watching it, looking for the good moments because I'm an optimist. So you're a realist. I'm an optimist.
Well, I'm an optimist until you crush my optimism, and then
No. We've been Shane's wrong. I'm sorry, Shane. I love you, bro. We've been working together for a long, long time. And every time, listen. Every time I go, Shane, think about what we can do with this new project. Shane always goes, that's the best case scenario. Okay, now let's look at the worst.
But I am hopeful inside.
He doesn't crush my dreams, but he does help me see the realistic point of view.
That's fair.
I am an optimist. Everything I watch, except for Star Wars, they've completely broken me. I'm over it.
Except for Star Wars?
No, Star Wars has complete. I still have just enough hope for Star Trek to keep me semi-engaged.
Okay.
Star Wars has broken me to the point where I don't even want to talk about it. When someone says Star Wars, I have a bad taste in my mouth. Like literally, like you're not feeling in your gut where you go, oh God, you feel icky. Star Wars makes me icky. Star Trek, on the other hand, not so much.
Interesting.
What Star Trek did for me, when I first saw the poster for Star Trek Academy, my first thoughts were, and I quote, "That's the gayest thing I've ever seen."
I was wondering if maybe you're half gay and that's why you like it.
Look, I mean, everyone's a little gay.
Wait, I got to get that on a shirt.
No, but when I saw the poster, I was like, this is horrible. When I saw the second poster, this is horrible. When I saw the promo shots, I'm like, this looks retarded. It looks so bad.
It did. It looked terrible.
And then I watched the first episode. I gotta say, and Shane, you'll watch it.
I've seen actually the first scene where the mom's talking to the kid, and then the kid she gets caught, I guess, by Starfleet, and right. And then she gets locked up in jail, and the kid's a ward of the state or whatever.
Not exactly. So
that's what I've seen.
Right. So when you watch it, you'll see what I'm saying. First off, unlike Discovery and Strange New Worlds, they're not actually breaking their own canon, which is what they've been doing for every Star Trek.
Yeah. Well, it started with the burn, which scared me.
Well, no, so yeah,
wow, we're starting with the burn.
That's the problem with Star Trek. Star Trek Academy is stuck to a rotten core.
That's true. Yeah.
Because it has to deal with the stupid Discovery burn stuff. I mean, it didn't have to. They could have said a different time period. Because they chose this time period, it's rotten.
Well, in order for the Starfleet Academy to be good, there's going to have to be a couple of things that are going to have to happen. You're going to have what's that?
What's going to happen?
You're going to have characters that are Janeway-esque, that put Starfleet and the Federation above their own ideals. They have to have that hope has to exist, that all those things that make Star Trek what it is needs to be inside this.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Let me explain real quick what I do like about it and what I don't like, and I think you're gonna like it. And I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Yeah, don't spoil anything.
I'm not. I don't like the Holly Hunter character. I love the Paul Giamatti character. I don't like the weird Jem'Hadar chick. Don't. The photonic girl, though, is growing on me. Bad casting, but the character's growing on me. I don't like the bridge crew. I do like the cadets. The cadets are actually very good. They're charming. They're well acted. They're well cast. Majority of them, except for the photonic chick.
I just want to reiterate. I have a high bar for Star Trek. So the bar can't be lowered just because Discovery.
And that's the problem. That's my problem. So you have kept the high bar.
Yes.
But my bar has gradually lowered.
Understood.
Every season of Discovery that you forced me to watch because we were covering it.
I forced you to watch.
No, wait, okay. So for the main channel, we were doing Discovery stuff. I told you in season 2, I hate this. But we were making videos about it. So we kept watching it.
Yeah, but I hated it too. How can it be
my why did we keep making videos?
I don't know.
Because we were holding out. We were holding out hope.
Hopeful that it would get better.
It's funny because our most popular videos was us trying to fix it. Remember that? It was like, well, they can do this though and make it all work, and they never did.
Well, season 2 made it. We had hope because they brought in Pike, right? Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. So there's a lot I like about this and a lot I hate about this. And I think, here's the realist part of me. The realist is saying, as it goes on, I'm going to hate more and more because that's what they do.
This should have been a whole segment.
It is a segment. I'm recording it. Strange New Worlds started off great and then got worse and worse and worse the more rope I gave it to hang itself. This might start the same way where it's like, I don't hate this. There's parts of it that are actually super enjoyable and some are really stupid and cringe. Honestly, the Holly Hunter character sucks. The War College guy is way cooler. But
have you seen Bob Picardo yet? Has he come in?
Yeah, he's great. Robert Picardo is great.
That's the only reason I would give it a chance.
Robert Picardo is very good. Very good.
He's always good.
Yeah, and listen, there's no difference between this Doctor and the Doctor in Voyager. It's like time didn't pass for him.
That makes me happy because if he all of a sudden had a different philosophy, then that would destroy it immediately.
Right. So the thing is this, though. I think as time goes on, like everything they do in Star Trek, what's probably going to happen is that I'm going to give them so much rope, they're going to get tangled in it and choke themselves to death. And that's what's happened. Look, that's what happened.
In your mind, yes.
Right. And that's entirely possible. But the optimist in me is hoping that's not the case. The optimist in me is hoping that the route I think they're going, and I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a route they're going to go that I feel like if they went this route, it would actually work. And we've had this conversation before. A Academy show on Star Trek can't work because you can get tops one season out of it, unless they do what I think they're going to do. And if they do what I think they're going to do, then they can actually get a few seasons out of this, and it can actually be good or good enough.
I love you, man. I'm going to tell you why I love you.
Now, let me say it from your point of view.
Be crushed.
All of this is horrible, and even the bright spots are not bright enough to shine on the absolute terror that is this episode of television.
Well, here's what we do every time a new series comes out. Well, it could be good. Well, right. And the reason why, but here's the problem. As long as Alex Kurtzman is running Star Trek with his ideology, it just can never be good. Right. I'm sorry.
No, you're not wrong. And the reason why Kurtzman pushed for 2 seasons of this dream that already paid for is because he's on his way out.
Oh yeah. 100%.
And he wanted to make sure that his Academy show got 2 seasons, and he's been pushing this for a long time.
This is the only show, by the way, he ever really wanted to do.
Is it for 20 years? This is all he wanted to do.
He wanted to make a movie. He wanted a Starfleet Academy TV show. That's all he ever wanted. So he's got it. There it is.
Right. And he picked a showrunner that is very interesting. He picked a showrunner, Noga Landau, who is very, very good at making these like teen drama, young adult CW shows.
She is a master at it.
She's very good. Like she has mastered her craft. That craft is not for me.
Right. No, it has its own audience.
But she has mastered the craft of the young adult.
It should be in my Star Trek universe. But
maybe, yeah, it probably shouldn't. But they did pick, if they wanted to do it, if their goal was, we want to make a young adult Star Trek CW show, they picked the best possible person to do that with. I don't like it, but they did.
They should have had make a TV show as the guys who made Prodigy. They should have made a live action TV show. So
on that note, there's actually a lot of Prodigy in this.
Well, then that might be better if that's the case.
In the first couple episodes, there's a lot of nods to Prodigy. So
listen, I'm your barometer, guys. I'll know right away. I'll know because like I knew with Prodigy, I'm watching. I hate new Star Trek completely. I start watching Prodigy and go, this is Star Trek.
So you know what?
Star Trek.
So you know what? So if I'm the optimist and he's the barometer, then he'll watch it this week, and next week we'll do an update segment where he tells you whether or not I'm crazy or if I'm onto something.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll be honest about it. I'm not one of those guys who's stuck on it. I'm irritated and mad about what's happened, but I'm a realist. So you'll get reality.
There you go. Come back next week for an update on that, and let us know what you guys think in the chat in the comments. All right, moving on. All right, we're going to talk about Don Lemon or Don Lemon Drop, but first, the stinger. All right, we're going to talk about Don Lemon. Don Lemon did invade a church, and I was going to go out there and find a bunch of footage that showed, and the problem is I did find a bunch of footage. I found the guy, the other guy who said, oh, I was a combat veteran, but actually he was just a dude that did paperwork for a few years and then got arrested and then got discharged dishonorably for stealing. So he's not real combat veteran. I was going to find that, but there's hours of footage of this, and it's not very well curated. I did, though, find a great video by Don't Walk Run Productions. This guy breaks it down very nicely. It's short, and I think that we can watch that and then comment on that if you're cool with that, Shane.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
This is Don Lemon, the former CNN anchor turned independent journalist. And by journalist, I mean accomplice.
That's great. And by journalist, I mean accomplice. By the way, if you're not following Don't Walk, Don't Run, he's actually really, really clever.
Sunday, January 18th, 2026, Lemon joined up with a bunch of protesters led by Nakima Levy Armstrong of the Racial Justice Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to the program. We just got into Minneapolis a little bit ago. And
The guy's hat says Lemon Nation.
Yeah.
God, he's such a narcissist. It's crazy, right?
Oh, he's incredibly full of himself.
He's so full of himself.
did
Almost as
some
bad as Chris Cuomo.
Almost a Cuomo. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
some reconnaissance on the ground.
Reconnaissance.
Speaking to an organization there that's gearing up to for resistance and protest.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah.
So what are they doing? Why would Don Lemon fly all the way to Minneapolis? Well, it was a secret.
They're getting the operation together again. This is
Notice the upside down flag in the background?
No, I missed it.
Look at this. Ready?
It was a secret.
they're
See that?
Oh, Jesus.
It's There's a couple things that show you as a liberal right away. Ready? Colored hair, a septum ring, wide brim glasses, and an upside down flag.
By the way, your country is not in distress. You're in distress. Get out.
Yeah, you have a problem, dude.
getting the operation together again. This is an operation that is secret, so I don't want to get, because they are strategizing, I don't want to get too much of their information in there. But okay, so we're going to go to the operation again. We're not going to give any of the information away. We're doing this clandestine.
I gotta tell you.
This is fantastic evidence for a crime being
Right.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. There's a lot of great evidence here, Pam. Pam Bondi, please, are you watching this video? There's an hour of this, by the way. There's an hour that he posted online of himself. But also, as much as I disagree with their politics, B, their ideology, C, their methods, and D, just about everything they believe in, I have to give it to them. Considering how cold it is and it's snowing and icy, man, they are dedicated. Dedicated weirdos, dude.
Secret operation.
That's a grind mindset.
Operations are surprise operations. Again, can't tell you where they're going and where we're gathered right now. Can't tell you
get it.
what
Move
is going
on.
to happen, but you're
No, he's painting a picture here.
Okay.
Also, by the way, everything he's saying, everything he's doing, everything he's filming right now is totally illegal. He is committing crimes on camera. He doesn't think he is, but he is.
Listen, yeah, well, you can never accuse him of being, have a lot of self-awareness.
No.
So.
going to watch it live unfold here on the Don Lemon Show.
So it turns out that the Lemon Gang was heading to a church. And notice how worried Don is about ruining the surprise. Since when does a journalist worry about blowing the cover of the people that they're supposedly just covering?
We are here. Now, do you think if you just have it, I think maybe if you just have it on the church, but if they see me.
Really, Don? Really?
He thinks he's so famous that they're going to recognize him and know there's something going on.
Buddy, I hate to break it to you, man. You look pretty average.
He's a pretty average dude.
They're going to know.
If they see me in the camera, they're going to know that they're about to be ambushed. But, if you're just there to chronicle a public event, who cares if they see you? You only hide your face when you know that you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
And I'm going to go inside.
Always bet on black.
Always bet on
First
black.
admission of guilt.
So Lemon slipped inside the church, and it turns out that the activists weren't there to pray. They were there to interrupt the service at Sidney's church.
That poor pastor
Hands
is like,
up, don't shoot.
damn it.
In a church. Makes sense to me. What's your problem? So the question is, why target this specific church?
This is a clandestine mission. I think that
So right there, for another admission of guilt, it's a clandestine mission. Can't be a protest then, can it?
they found out
What's that?
It's definitely not a legal protest.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
according to them. This is according to Operation Pull Up.
Called Operation Pull Up. That one of the pastors here is a member of ICE. Ooh, targeted too.
One of the Pastors here is a member of ICE, and so here we go.
Hey, let me ask you a
So
question.
yes,
What do you think they're going to accomplish by doing this?
Get
What are they
arrested?
accomplishing?
Make a bunch of money on YouTube with AdSense?
All they're trying to do is spin people up. That's all it is.
Right.
You know, and they're not actually accomplishing anything.
Sorry, I have to feature this chat. Operation Pullout? Question mark. Listen, that should have been the operation his father was using during conception. It should have been Operation Pullout. It'd be better for the world.
it turns out that one of the pastors listed on City's Church's website is David Easterwood, who is also the acting field office director of U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement in St. Paul.
David Easterwood.
Are you sure that he's a...
Yes, City's Church. Yes. And that's why we're here.
did they say?
Demanding justice for Renee Good and letting them know that this will not stand.
So their justification for barging into a religious service is that one of the pastors has a day job that they don't like.
Right.
I am a reverend on top of being a lawyer.
Hey, guys, she says I'm a reverend on top of being a lawyer. Ready? Press X to doubt right away. Like, listen, if you believe that, I got some great cryptocurrency to sell you, and I promise I'm not going to rug pull it.
Lawyer and an activist. So
I'm a lawyer, an activist, and a reverend. I don't believe you at all.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's one more thing about people.
Why
that,
would it matter?
People that call themselves reverends and pastors because they got ordained on a website called weordainanyone.com. That doesn't make you a reverend or a pastor. A pastor is a spiritual title that should be imbued upon you by God and by your actions, and not by the state, a website you can send $30 to, you know, or any man. So these leftists that have all their ideology is completely opposite to what Christianity is, but then call themselves pastors and reverends and demand respect. Screw off. You're wrong, and you shouldn't believe them. And they really only did that so they can utilize that as a weapon to weaponize your empathy, which is wrong.
Well said.
come here in the
Operation Pullout.
power of the Almighty God for righteousness, truth, and justice.
And now she's
Oh, I
invoking
see.
God.
She's a reverend, so she has almighty jurisdiction to crash other people's services. But don't worry, Don Lemon, he's totally neutral.
We're here just chronicling and reporting. We're not part of the activists, but we're here just reporting on them. But anyways, I'm not going to get in the middle of it because I'm not here as
That's what he
an
says.
activist. I'm here
3
as a
minutes
journalist.
later.
Realize that
I'm a journalist.
if this is not the right thing to be doing right now,
right.
but he's already gone too far.
Anyways, I'm not gonna get in the middle of it.
He's like, oh, I didn't realize we were going into the
I
church."
thought we were gonna casually protest outside, but then they came in and started screaming at children, and I don't know. Just,
Sorry, Don. What were you saying about January 6th?
Oh, good point.
And about going into, going inside. Anyways.
That's a really good point.
Listen, I'm not going to get in the middle of it. But then 5 seconds later, he's lecturing us on why this disruption is actually a good thing.
Here we go.
This is the beginning of what's going to happen here. When you violate people's due process, when you pull people off the street, you start dragging
These
them
are threats.
and hurting
These
them.
are threats. These are threats. He's threatening people. He's saying we're going to disrupt your lives and ruin your place of worship and your place of work or whatever because we don't agree with you.
Just so ridiculous. I mean, the idea is so ridiculous that because one guy is associated with ICE and goes to church here, that you come and just destroy all these other dozens and dozens, hundreds of people, whatever, that are here. I mean, the lack of self-awareness is so incredible.
Yeah.
That it should make you concerned.
It's almost like
about the mental prowess of some of these folks.
Yeah. You're completely right. It's wild. It's wild. There's no world, no universe where this is appropriate whatsoever.
They should know that.
They should. They don't. They think they're the heroes, which is crazy.
Oh yeah. Which social media
and not abiding by the
because you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to play it. That's because social media keeps telling them they're the heroes.
That's right.
Constitution. When you start doing all of that, people get upset and angry. And if you remember what the civil rights movement was about,
journalism is supposed to be neutral and unbiased. What Don Lemon is doing is advocacy.
for some reason,
he's always
modern.
Yeah, he's always been an activist. Even even when he was a journalist, a journalist on CNN, he was
independent. He's never been an independent journalist. He's always been a commentary journalist. You know, he's got an opinion.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Era, people think that in order to have protests, you got to be, cordoned off to a certain area.
Yeah, you do. Right? Like
that's what a protest is, Don.
That's the law, Don. People think, no, that's the law. It's not. People think
a public place. And by the way, churches are not public places, people.
No,
just
private.
because anybody can go into a church because they welcome everyone does not mean that it is a public place. It's owned by someone.
Oh my God. This reminds me of, and this is not a tangent, this applies. So I go to a church here in SoCal. And I remember when we first opened the church, there was neighbors that did not like that there was a church there. Now here's the deal. Before the church moved in, it was an abandoned building. It was an abandoned building that was used by vagrants and homeless people to do drugs, have sex, and it was a disaster. It was so bad that they had red tape that entire lot, and the property value of surrounding homes were dropping because this lot was being used as basically a tent city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was bad. Well, the church came in and bought it, and cleaned it, and repaved, the parking lot, and replanted trees, and made the place beautiful, and then moved in. The neighbors, some of the neighbors, like these two really super gay people, didn't like that there was a church there. They would have preferred that the lot be being used for gay, vagrant, homeless sex and drugs. Well, they came over with like a big old video camera. And I remember this clearly because it was like one of those old school video cameras, the ones from like the 90s. They were huge, bro. And they were like right outside the door filming. And they were like yelling, like, not yelling, but like saying obscene things to people that are walking in, calling them bad names and stuff like that. So I walk out and I go, "Hey guys, you can't do that here. Please go somewhere else." They're like, "Oh, we're not allowed to come to church." I'm like, "You're allowed to come to church. You're not allowed to disrupt church." He goes, "I'm not in church. I'm outside." I'm like, "Actually, you're outside the door on private property."
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now that if you don't listen to me, I will utilize my rights and I will have you removed from the property, regardless of whether or not it's a church. And I remember at the time, one of the people there were like, "Oh, you need to be kinder, my friend. Be kinder, brother." I'm like, no, this is not a time for kindness. This is a time for reality.
Yeah, remember what Jesus did in the temple when he got upset.
He flipped tables, dude. Yeah. And you know what? Those people never came back. And had I not been firm with them, they would have harassed people continually. It would have been a problem. But I was firm. They left. Haven't seen them since.
Interesting. So to get to the meat and potatoes of what's happening here, did you want to show more of this video, or do you want to talk about what's happening?
No, let's just talk about it now.
So, of course, what's happened is the U.S.
I'm sorry. One more thing I wanted to show. I do want to show this. I apologize.
Go ahead.
This is later on in the video, and it's going to explain the law they're breaking.
Good. Yeah,
that's what I was
accusations that the protesters violated the FACE Act. 18 U.S. Code Section 248, the FACE Act, is a law that makes it a crime to intimidate or interfere with any person lawfully exercising the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship.
They're going to come at me with charges, and I'm not scared of that. There's no base for these charges. I did not block them from, their service. They welcomed us in. They never asked us to leave.
We asked them to leave, and Obviously have not lived.
Come and get me, Pam Bondi. Traitorous.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait. Remember what happened to the guy in Venezuela?
Yeah.
Don't say "come get me"
Right
with this administration, buddy.
Yeah. You don't. You don't threaten them with a good time. So that's the guy who I was talking about earlier, and I'm going to show you guys a clip of him. He went on. So he's basically trying to get call out the Pam Bondi and the FBI to dare them to come get him for breaking a bunch of laws, which he did. Well, he justifies it by saying that he was a combat veteran. And here's an actual combat veteran with access to records, public records, mind you, that really just puts him in his place. Here we go.
I've been dead. I'm a fucking combat infantry veteran.
You were a human resource specialist for 3.5 years. And then you were given a bad conduct discharge for theft. That is the extent of your military service. You are not a combat infantryman. You've never deployed. You've never been in combat. You worked in S1. You worked in the paperwork shop. You handled leave forms. You handled pay issues. You did paperwork. And then you got kicked the fuck out because you're a thief. Here's the thing, dude. I respect all service. Whether you were in the Air Force giving out towels at the gym, or you were in the Navy on a boat that never saw combat, it doesn't matter. Serving your country is an honorable thing. But to make the claim that you were a combat infantryman, who, as you said, lucky you made it out. Bro, you never saw combat. Not only did you never see combat, you never deployed to a combat area. You never deployed to anywhere where there was a conflict happening because you were paperwork. You helped soldiers fill out forms. And then you fucked even that up by trying to steal, getting caught, and getting a bad conduct discharge. Stop making shit up.
That's why I always say, whenever it goes, like, especially on like special like Veterans Days, they go, "Thank you for your service." I'm like, dude, I fix a lot of computers. I didn't do much. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate the honorable thing that you're saying. But there are actual people that did really hard stuff. I fixed a lot of computers and drove some trucks.
Well, but you like what he said. Everybody who served their country it's a good thing. There are different levels to it,
right?
You didn't go forward to a combat zone, but that doesn't make you any less valuable to the process. And for those people who did go to combat zone, maybe they potentially paid a higher price. But even those guys who went to combat zones, like for example, I was in Iraq, I was in Afghanistan, but the problem is that I didn't spend every day outside of the wire.
Right. But you got to see camel spiders.
So I did. And I did spend time outside the wire. But the problem is I didn't do as much in a combat zone as other people did in a combat zone. So it's like,
I was so blessed. Everywhere I went was like just before or after gnarly shit happened.
Yeah. Well, so what I'm saying is there's different levels, even in the combat zone, of what people, if you're breaking down doors, you're obviously further at the tip.
Yeah. If you're doing mountain missions, bro, then like mad respect. That's dangerous. And look, even being like what the guy says, being a paper pusher, you served your country. That's an honorable thing to do. 100%. But when that guy goes out there and tries to lie and say he barely made it out of combat infantry, and it's public record what his job was.
It's not hard to put in a request for
Nope.
Public information. And your service is public information. So in most cases.
It's wild, man. So to break this down, these people broke the laws, not just the FACE Act, but they actually broke multiple laws. They didn't protest in a way that made sense. And something that Don Lemon said that really ruffled my feathers, he goes, protest is not about just making your voice heard. It's about making people uncomfortable. It's literally, I mean,
I think that's true too. I agree with that.
It's literally making your voice heard. That's
it
what
is,
it literally is.
But in that, I understand what he's saying because you are protesting to be heard. But if you're protesting something like a situation and you're doing it properly, you would like them to be uncomfortable. What they should have done is went outside the church, I guess, into a public space and chanted or whatever. I guess then you can disrupt their service if that's what your goal is. But like I said, it's a shitty thing to disrupt the service of 300 people when there's one person you're trying to reach.
Yeah.
Like what does that say about you? And unfortunately, even though they're going after them with these charges, you've got the Minnesota magistrate judge would rejected any charges against him. So once again, the local state, political movement is
the judge activists. The activist judges are once again allowing for laws to be broken. And I got to ask a question, like, at what point is this going to be dealt with? I am so tired of activist judges utilizing their position to allow lawbreakers to continue breaking the law, harassing communities, and making our lives harder. It's completely and totally ridiculous. Something has to be done about activist judges. We cannot allow activist judges to keep letting people who break the law get away with it. Not only people that break the law, people that violently assault and murder people sometimes have been then let loose, and then those people then murder again. Lives have been lost because activist judges want a virtual signal that they're on the right side. That's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, part of the problem is politically appointed judges. That's one of the problems. The other problem is a judge is supposed to be passionless. A judge is supposed to only care about the law, whether, and not pick a side. It's the law. Whatever, if they broke the law, they broke the law. If they didn't break the law, your job is to interpret the law. But that's not what's happening with a lot of them. And unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do other than maybe hold them accountable when they're trying to get to the next level. That's all you can really do.
Yeah. All right. We're going to hit the next topic. All right, Shane. I do want to do a little meme review, but let's do some quick. This is super chats. Looks like it was only is there anyone? Oh, there's one. This is from John Yulden. Oh no, I already did that one. Only one so far. John Burns. Don, pastors didn't knock D out of your M at your work. What?
D out of your
John, thank you for the super chat, but I'm confused.
I know what it is. It's dick out of your mouth, I believe.
Oh, goodness.
Right? Gracious. Am I right there, John? Did I get that? I don't know if I should have said that, but I did.
I don't know if you should have said it either.
Yeah. Well, it's too late now. I said it.
Oh, you said it. It's out there. It's in the
Come
world.
get me. Come get me.
Come get me, Pam Bondi. What's the chick in charge of Chrissy Gnome? Come get me, Chrissy Gnome. Seriously, please come get me, Chrissy Gnome. Come get me.
You know what's funny? The commercials where they show the tarmac of an airport and say, if you're an illegal, this is your future, right? And I'm just like, this is hilarious commercial. I don't know who it's supposed to be for. But it's hilarious.
Yeah. Whenever I see the anti-immigration people, where they're effectively, it looks like they're advertising to illegal aliens and being like, we're on your side. I asked myself the same question. I don't get it. Who is this for? And then I realized it's not for the illegal immigrants. It's a call to action for the other brain dead Karens.
Got it.
The other weird leftist that can't figure it out. It's a dog whistle. That's what it is.
I thought it was a way to, like, a fear tactic, to maybe disrupt them or to, I don't know. I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell.
Another one here from John Burns for 279. Activist judges I hate by saying, I am the law. Now imagine I said that in Samuel L. Jackson's voice.
I am the law, boy. I am the law.
I am. Well, that was in a movie, right?
What's the deal with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane?
Movie quote, I am the law. I know I've heard him say that.
I am the law. Yeah, I've heard him say that too.
Well, let's see. Well, it comes from Judge Dredd, I guess. Sylvester Stallone said it.
No, I think he said it too. There's a movie where he says that too.
Movie quote, I am the law, Samuel L. Jackson. I got to see this. Oh, it came up. Let's see. Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I am the law.
Right?
All right. All right, we're going to... No, it's Pulp Fiction. I think he says it in Pulp Fiction.
It's definitely said in Judge Dredd, 100%. But I believe it's also said often... Oh, it's... Okay, it says... when he says, and you know my name is the Lord, then I lay my weapon of vengeance on thee. I swear to God, he says it. Now I got to find it. I'll look for it.
I don't know, dude. All right. We need to talk about Greenland first, though.
Ooh, yeah.
Can you send me that? I actually can't find it. I thought I had it, but it went to an empty thing. Can you give me that link you gave me, the video where it explains... You think you slacked it to me, bro? I want to play that video.
Did I slack it to you once?
And I saved it, but now the link's not working. So maybe they took it down?
Oh, is it the one where the guy broke down...
Yeah, he broke down why Greenland's important.
Was it the one with President Trump?
No, I don't think so.
Because you sent me the link.
Oh, did I send you the link?
You sent me the link on the guy who broke down...
Oh, no, that wasn't the Fourth Empire one. It was the Greenland one. All right, let me find it real quick. If you can just talk.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
All I have is the Davos thing that Trump's Davos speech.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to log into my other YouTube account. I know I have it saved there. 1 second.
But I'm happy to discuss Greenland.
Oh, yeah, we got to talk about it because I think that I've never learned more about so much about Greenland than I'm learning now. It's pretty wild. Right. I'm figuring out why Greenland...
Yeah, no, it's funny because I do think I've become a Trump whisperer. Like, what's funny is I've gotten to the point now where I've watched him so much, and I would say, like, one of my superpowers is once I get to know somebody, I kind of have them figured out, and I can kind of figure out kind of what you're all about and who you are. And I've spent enough time watching Trump that I think I've got him figured out, and I can predict what he's going to do in certain situations. And I completely predicted what was going to happen here with Greenland, by the way.
Yeah. All right. So I did. So there was a deal. So before we go into why it's important, there was a deal made for Greenland. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So,
yeah. So, by the way, the first comment, by the way, on that video, I remember this. Trump turned the Green New Deal into the Greenland deal.
Oh, so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Trump knows that when he says really outrageous things, it gets people upset and it makes them move to action. He's figured this out, right? And so he says the most outrageously crazy things to try to get people to move into a position where he can get what he wants. Okay, so whether it's Venezuela or what's going on, or it's saying, if I have to, I'll take Greenland by force. What I've realized is that Trump almost never does what he says he's going to do. Almost never.
Right.
It's a bullying tactic is what I would call it. It's a threat tactic to make people who go, I don't know, maybe he might do it, right? And so because they're uncertain, they're willing to move to action to get some sort of middle ground, which is what he's really shooting for. Now, don't get me wrong. Would he love to own Greenland outright? Yes. Would he love to own Canada outright? Yes. Would he love to own Venezuela? Yes. As part of who he is as a person and his legacy, he would love to be the president who got all this stuff, looked at 100 years from now. That's his motivation for almost everything he's doing. Make America great again, but also solidify his legacy for the future. He wants to be remembered as one of the greatest presidents of all time. Mm-hmm. So what he does is he uses these tactics where he attacks someone, right, to get him out of their chair so then he can move into a position to negotiate with them. So he basically, the way I would say is, like I used to say, when you used to talk to people, you should hit them with a shit sandwich, right? If you really want to get somebody to do something, you give them a shit sandwich. What you do, you start out with a compliment, okay? Then you insult them, and then you end it with a compliment. And that tends to get people to think, because the first thing and the last thing they heard about you was positive. So what Trump does is something, he does basically a one-face sandwich. He hits you with the shit first, and then he he hits you with the kindness afterwards.
Right.
So once he publicly shames them and then privately says, look, you know I love you guys. And because most people do not like confrontation and they want shit resolved, they are eager to take the pleasantries from Trump, which makes them easier to make a deal on. What he really wanted was unfettered access to Greenland to do whatever we need to do, and also access to mineral rights.
Right.
That's what his compromise was, and that's exactly what he got.
It's not just Greenland too. It's not just about the mineral rights. It's also about access. This location between Russia and China.
That was the primary reason, because he needs a place for the Golden Dome. So you got to have strategic positions to be able to do this Golden Dome thing he wants to do, which eventually will keep China and Russia from shooting nuclear missiles at us, frankly speaking.
Right.
Okay. And having a section of Greenland is really important to being able to create this umbrella. But the other thing is there are sea lanes that are opening up as we get this global warming thing occurring, where you're going to melt ice, or the ice is melting and it's creating new sea lanes. And Greenland just has the optimal location. You can't get out. You really can't get. We're already got the Bering Strait over in Alaska. You're not going to get by us without us knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if we get all along the coast of Greenland, we're going to be able to know who's passing through the straits there. You're not going to be able to operate in the Arctic without us knowing about it.
Okay,
and
so
that's what he wants.
You're right. So I do want to watch this video and comment on it. It's actually super interesting, and you were already telling me a lot of this stuff, but this guy did put it in really easy terms. New channel that I've found recently. His name is Jack Chappelle. I don't know a lot about him, but I've watched a couple of videos, and he's very well researched. So here we go. Boom. Oops. Probably shouldn't have the page muted, huh? There you go. My bad. Here we go.
People may soon become one of the most important places in the whole world. But maybe not for the reasons that you might think. You see, while many headlines talk about the military invasion of the USA of Greenland, there is really something much deeper going on here that could change the trajectory of the entire world. In economics, we have a concept called utility. For something to have value, it generally needs to be useful. But Greenland is a giant frozen no-fly zone for human habitation. 80% of it is covered by an ice sheet that is, in some places, 3 kilometers thick.
Whoa.
It's like a giant literal frozen paywall. And that brings us to the question that's being brought up in the news all the time, and that is, why is the wealthiest nation on Earth, the United States, so obsessed with buying a giant block of ice that's 99.96% empty? You see, Greenland is a bunch of potential. To some people, it may seem like a bunch of nothing, but to the United States, it's a $3 trillion vault where the key is slowly melting away. And what's inside that $3 trillion vault? Well, it's largely rare earth metals. Right now, as you watch this, you are likely holding a tiny piece of China, not a physical piece of land.
Real quick, in the rare earth, that is what ties into the next the next big empire.
Yeah. So I thought this guy's actually really, really good. He thoroughly looks into things. And if you like good explanations on how things work, I think he has a really good theory on all the American empires and the fourth American empire. I think he's right on the money. But bottom line is, I don't know if you want to show this entire, this isn't.
I don't. I'm going to show you the intro, then I'm going to go to one key point.
Okay. Got it.
And I just want to show you the intro. Then I want to discuss why it's important for the continuation of the great American experiment.
But the chemical soul of your device. China currently controls 60% of rare earth mining and a staggering 90% of rare earth processing.
Do you understand how terrifying that should be?
It should be, yeah. I mean, we allowed it to take.
You can't have smartphones, data centers, AI, computers without these rare earth minerals. Can't have it. And they control. Not only do they mine 60%, but they process 90%. That is not okay. Nope. That's the definition of a monopoly, and one country has that monopoly.
It's an intentionality, and we just, like everything else we did with China, looked the other way for too many years.
Yep.
If the world of technology was a giant kitchen, China owns the stove, the pans, and 9 out of 10 of the ingredients. This is what many economists would call a monopoly. Rare earth metals like neodymium and praseodymium are in things like smartphones and laptops. They're also the vitamins of the modern military around the world. They're in the guidance system.
Okay, that's what I want to get to. They're the ingredients in weaponry, guidance systems. We are in a digital age. No longer are we hawking TNT, at people. This is a whole nother thing. Look how we took over. Look how we dealt with Venezuela. Do you think we went in there with a bunch of projectile weapons and force and just took the president? No, there was more going on. We shot like radar jammers. There was like this new technology that they're just alluding to right now that made everyone sick to their stomach. They couldn't even communicate. We had that president before they can react. They shot missiles, anti-air missiles into the air to try to deal with us. They went up 10 feet and dropped back down. What technology can do that? And that technology, we need rare earth to fund it, to build it, to continue it.
And the future fighting, by the way, is drones and laser weapons. Just heads up.
Yeah, it reminds me of that episode of Stargate where that group is underground and they're using basically unmanned drones to fight their wars. I totally believe that's where we're going to go. All right, 2 more seconds here.
Actually true purpose for defense of the United States if a conflict were to ever escalate between, let's just say, Russia and the United States. So we have minerals, we have oil, we have the hallway, and we have high ground. And those are the key reasons for the United States wanting Greenland. But now let's take a look at what would likely have to happen for the United States to actually acquire Greenland pretty soon. Potentially by next year. You see, everyone is scared about an invasion of the United States to Greenland. However, that seems to be pretty unlikely given the repercussions that could happen. The United States could get completely tariffed by a lot of its Western partners, NATO might collapse, there might be a ton of embargoes that happen, but they could do it. I mean, theoretically, this would be the fastest invasion and war in the history of the world,
it was
potentially.
Never going to happen.
I mean, currently...
It would be, yeah.
It was never going to happen, though.
No, those were all idle threats. So this is how they're actually going to do it, and I believe this.
The quickest war in history was the Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896.
Get with it, bro.
They fired a few shells. The United States troopers to Greenland, they send accountants and negotiators. They would try to convince Greenland through economic integration. I mean, think about this. If the US offered every Greenlander a sovereign wealth dividend or a massive injection of federal infrastructure funds, the psychology of those incentives, of that money, might sway the Greenlanders to want to join the United States. And for those of you that say Denmark,
Greenland, but they also have to sweeten Denmark.
Right.
So they're going to have to make Denmark not look like they are weak, that they just gave up Greenland. So they gotta make them. They gotta somehow strongman them, right? Yeah. At the same time, sweeten the pot for Greenland to eventually create this slow takeover.
Make it look like a win-win.
Yeah, it's got to win-win everybody.
The thing about this thing with Denmark is, realistically, Denmark owes us so much money. They have only paid a little over 1% of their NATO fund since the 80s. We've bailed them out multiple times. Like if we wanted to if we were actually charging them for monies owed, then they should just give us Greenland. That's not going to happen. We get it. But we don't want to humiliate them because then they'll fall back on their feet.
Well, and that's, even though, and I'm gonna let you finish. That's the way Trump does business. He does get things accomplished, but he also creates situations where he embarrasses people and in some situation causes them to dig in more. Could he have gotten Greenland better by doing it with honey instead of doing it with bitter? Right? Look what we've done with Canada. Right? Canada fucking hates us.
Right? Yeah.
So I think it's an ends to a mean for him, but I can't help but to wonder if there is actually a better way to have accomplished all these things.
Well, in the words of Daniel Tosh, you're welcome, Canada. You don't have to have weapons. You can have your hippy dippy socialist medicine and all those nice things because you got the fat Kevlar snuggie of America wrapped around your ass, and we got you covered, bud. Go back to sleep.
True.
We'll wake you up when the NHL playoffs happen.
Well, but what they're doing is we're in bed with Canada under the same covers, and they're slowly pulling back the blanket to allow China to get in on their side.
Yeah, that's
is
true.
what's happening, and they're using their hatred of Trump and what he's doing to, and the embarrassment that he's created for them to allow that to occur, which he just said, and he just came out with this yesterday, he's not going to allow China to take over Canada. So I'm really happy with what Trump's doing and the fact that he's accomplishing so much. I would love for him to try it another way first. Hey, Denmark, you know what? How can we listen? We need to protect. We really need to have control of Greenland because we need to protect it. Okay. And instead of me just throwing out a Truth Social thing at random, I'm going to call you on the phone and say, what do you guys need that we can make this work and make it a win-win for all of us? Now, if they come back and say, hey, middle finger, Don, we're never giving you Greenland. Now maybe attack them and try your way. But did you try it this way first? I don't know.
Well, we don't know. Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, I'd like to know that.
Yeah, we don't know. Here's another thing, too. And while you're right, I'm in the same boat. I think he's actually doing great. When people go, did you vote for this? I'm like, yes.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
yes, 100%. We did.
We knew what we were getting with it.
Yeah. We knew. There's no surprises here. I'm stoked. The surprise would be if he didn't do what he's doing.
Right.
But here's the deal. I don't like the fact that countries seem to forget who the superpower is, who bailed them out of wars, who protected them when they couldn't protect themselves, who dealt with their terrorism problems, who dealt with their natural earthquakes, horrible tragedies, who was there to pick up the pieces, fix the get rid of the dictator, fix the infrastructure. Who was there? Who has been there for 75 plus years? Every single time. People call us the world police, but we're also the world's medics, the world's culture, the world's insert here. We've done it. But for some reason, you want to act, and this is every one of these big countries, they want to get all puff their chest out, act like pigeons in a coop, and try to pretend like the U.S. hasn't bailed them out, fixed them, helped them every single step of the way for almost 100 years.
Well, they think we're even. So this is the big problem. So yes,
what are we even? How are we even, bro?
I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
So they think we're even because after 9/11, we did a multinational attack on Kuwait and Iraq. Okay. And it was a multinational. And the reason we did it this way is because we didn't want to look like we were conquering a nation. So we brought in, all the NATO countries to come and support us. Hey, we were attacked 9/11. And so they used that. And they said it at this Davos thing. Hey, we supported you after 9/11. Denmark said we sent troops into Iraq that were killed. Okay. Small portion of troops that were killed. And by the way, I was there with a lot of multicultural people who did good things, but there weren't very many of you. It was mostly Americans. Right. Okay. So I'm just saying it's not, you cannot take World War I, World War II, okay, and compare it to thanks for 9/11 support in Iraq.
Yeah,
okay? I don't compare.
Do we need to pull up the scoreboard? Like, is that what we need to do? Do we need to pull up the scoreboard here? Because like World War I and World War II, in my head, are like the start of it. But there's so much. There's so many times that we pulled your asses out of the fire. That we helped with natural disasters and dictators and the Panama fucking Canal. I mean, you want to go down in history? We have the scoreboard puts us at such a deficit. You would owe us for the next 150 years. Like, let's stop playing around with this. Like, I'm not trying to pull up the scoreboard and shame you. I'm saying stop acting as if we're the problem. When the culture, the reason you're still here on this planet as a country is because of us.
Right. And I get that you can't, that can't exist forever. I get that at some point, we can, but here's the thing. We've never beat you over the head with it.
No.
So and in fact, you've taken the fact that we're a wealthy country, and you've taken that to your advantage with tariffs, and you've
NATO
created situations where you've benefited from us. So at some point,
no one in NATO has paid their share except for us. No one.
It's getting better now. Yeah, it is
getting better because Trump is making it get better.
I agree, 100%. No, you're 100%.
Because someone's finally holding their feet to the fire and say, you got to pay your bill, dude.
Right.
You're not meeting your obligations, and you haven't since the 80s.
You're right. And the way they meet those obligations, and this is it's not all one-sided. I agree with what you're saying. But when they spend that money on military, they're giving it to the United States to buy our equipment.
That's true.
So there's a whole bunch of elements here, but the bottom line is, like, for Denmark, it's a pride thing that they want to hold on to Greenland.
Right.
It's pride.
Right.
Okay. And what you have to do is say, look, Denmark was once a powerful nation. Okay. Right. The in the 15 to 1800s, they were powerful. Okay. Which is why they have Greenland in the first place. But at some point they have to say, look, America, what do you do something for us? We'll do something for you if you want it that bad. And I think that's the way it should have gone down. And it's a bummer that Trump had to threaten to take it by force. I just don't like that language.
Well, we don't 100% know that he didn't attempt to call them first.
It's possible, but even in that case, I just wish
right,
if there is no other way, then maybe you make that threat. But gosh, I just hate dealing with people that way.
Well, it's weird when they were first talking about Greenland, I was like, we thought it was a meme. Like, we thought they were just messing around.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, he's not the only president who've said we need Greenland. It's been happening for 100 years.
Yeah, and the more you learn, the more you're like, no. I think we do need Greenland. They can't protect it themselves.
At least we need access to
Greenland, right?
Without being able to be kicked out later.
Which is sort of what we're getting, which is really funny. So Trump goes, we're going to take Greenland. And they go, no, you're not. We're going to buy it. It's not for sale. Okay, this is what we need. Okay, you can have that. So essentially we get exactly what we wanted. We didn't give any money to you.
Well, yeah.
So on paper, you didn't get, it's not United States, but we're getting everything we actually wanted without having to pay the bill.
Yeah,
how do you think you won this, Denmark?
Because I'll tell you why. Here's the reason why. Trump said, I'm going to take it by force.
Right.
And then he went to Davos and he said, listen, guys, under no circumstances will I ever take Greenland by force. And the unclenching of assholes all across Europe made them want to make a deal. I mean, that's kind of how he works.
Right.
Right. So it's just the rhetoric spins up the other side so much that my fear is that they can cause damage as a result.
So it's like he asked for everything and then he said, "That's okay. Let me just get this one thing."
Basically, yeah.
But he just wanted that one thing the whole time.
But the whole time he probably just wanted the one thing.
That's
like I said, would he like to have Greenland? Yes. But does he realistically know it's not going to happen? Yeah,
Well, so we're going to get the rare earth minerals. We're going to put bases on it. We're going to be able to protect it. It's going to be ours anyways, just not on paper.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, you know what I just saw? Win-win. Actually, no, it's really just a win us. And you guys got played. But
I mean, it's win-win. No. It helps us secure Denmark better because we're in a military position to be closer to their assets. We're controlling the Arctic. We're protecting the people of Greenland. It's a win-win-win for everyone.
Yeah, I guess. They get some. Yeah, sure. All right. I mean, they could have just said, "Sure, we'll sell," and they would have all been billionaires. But
yeah.
But they could have put their pride and all been extremely wealthy, generational wealth, instantaneously.
Denmark doesn't need to hold on to that. I mean, I get it; it's probably worth a whole lot, and if they can, But if they can't protect it, then what's
they can't protect it? Dude, they can barely even afford the overhead of Greenland, that 500 million or whatever it is. Like, they can barely afford it. It's like, it's a huge percentage on their ledger that they can't afford. And they've complained about it. Every one of their, like, I saw a bunch of videos of like last decade of talking about the Greenland problem. Like, to them, it's a problem. Greenland is too expensive. That's a problem to them. We offered them a solution. They were like, oh, no. Oh, whatever. All right.
National pride, dude. It exists.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad someone has pride. A lot of our countrymen do not. Let me know in the chat and the comments what you guys think. All right, we're going to be going to the members section here pretty soon, but I do have one more thing to share with you. Let me activate the members section.
We got some super chats too.
And we got some super chats. So I'm going to do the super chats. Then we're going to...
John might be closing in on Kenneth's $20 that he put down.
He might, yeah. Let me get this. Let me start this thing up here. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and to answer DJ Skylo's thing, why isn't Greenland green? Because Greenland was a marketing campaign.
Didn't they make a mistake or something?
No, I mean, no, it was really a marketing campaign. So what happened was, the reason why Iceland is named Iceland and Greenland, you know, and neither one of them is green nor necessarily full of ice, is because they were trying to get people to move to Greenland.
Mm-hmm.
And because there's no internet way back in the day, they called it Greenland to get people to go there. And by the time they got there, they couldn't get back because it was a one-way trip. So that was a marketing campaign to get people to move there for a settlement that was being built at the time. So that's why it was named Greenland.
Can you do me a solid? Can you close that poll for me? I can't do it from here.
Oh, sure.
Thank you. All right. And super chats. Here we go. There we go. Oh, here we go. John Burns, 279. Thank John Burns. That there's German. Yeah, that would because that poll was up. I couldn't do any of my options.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not your fault. No, it's just a weird bug. There's German speakers in Switzerland. # Davos. Yeah, you know we're gonna do. We're out of time today, but we'll talk about the Davos speech too next week.
Something.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to take that speech and just cut out the best parts instead of trying to listen to like the full. Because as much as I like Trump, dude rambles so much. It's insane. He rambles a lot. He does that thing with like Sleepy Joe Biden, all these people.
Well, he goes from telling some really good stuff to then falling back into his political rhetoric and his talking points.
Right, yeah.
And then he goes back to being a truth speaker. It's like
he's following a script, and then he goes, "Oh, this is very interesting." You know, one time in Florida. Oh no, here we go. Hey, mark the time by about 8 to 10 minutes of him talking about something that had nothing to do with the speech. It's all right. You know who else does that? Our dad does that. I think it's an old guy thing.
It is.
Our dad goes off on weird tangents. He can turn a 30-minute sermon into 3 hours easily. John Burns, again, does Trump know he can build a port on Greenland? He is actually. So that was the point we're trying to make. They got everything they wanted. People don't fully understand this yet, but we're actually going to get our port. We're going to get our rare earth. We're going to get multiple ports. We're getting everything we wanted. Like the Greenland people, there's still people that believe that we're still trying to take over Greenland. The deal's done, guys. We made the deal. Greenland's done. We
already took over Greenland, bro.
Yeah, we've already taken over. It's funny because I see YouTubers being like, and he wants to take over Greenland with force. No. That's done.
He's already took it over.
We already got it.
I'd like to see a giant submarine base built in Greenland.
Dude, you want to know why CNN isn't reporting on this? And because it doesn't look good for their side that Trump, behind closed doors, made the deal necessary to get what America needed from Greenland.
Now, if he had taken it by force, they'd have been front and center.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Greenland is the island version of Serbia, except for Siberia.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you can't. You don't want to hang out in most of.
But there's a ton of rare earth. Is there a ton of rare earth in Siberia?
Yeah, absolutely. But you just can't get to it. It's But see, there are. Greenland is covered in an ice sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why they were saying like there's ice so far down is because you can't get to it. And Greenland and also Antarctica are where the great, like the the Laurentine ice sheet is in, I think it's in Greenland, and that's what's melting. Siberia, a terrible place you don't want to live, has a lot of rare metals. So yeah, I would say very similar.
Cool. From Matt McGee, thank you, Matt. Trump wants the Stargate located underneath Greenland. Unscheduled talk regular. Yes, let's go. Yes, thank you, Matt. You're right.
Well, it was already under Antarctica's ice, so why not? Yeah.
Also, Canada has 1/10 the population of the U.S. of A. It's true. John Burns says, read the agreement between Greenland and USA. We did. It's very good. Thank you, John.
Also, 3 places, Iceland, Greenland, and Vineland.
Yeah, I don't know about Vineland.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Also, Matt McGee. Go ahead.
Matt McGee making a run for this
I think he actually got it. Hey, gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks for spending so much time with us. Be blessed. Well, Brian, glad you are enjoying Academy more than me. Yeah, as am I. Okay, one more story I did want to talk about. It's quick. It's funny. Shane, you know who Erica Kirk is, right?
Oh yeah.
So Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife. Listen, I'm sad for her. I'm sad that Charlie Kirk died. But someone posted something that made me legitimately laugh. And I'm not laughing at Erica Kirk. I'm just laughing at this thing she does where when she's talking to someone, she'll do this intense, almost intentional stare. And I can't really set it up anymore. I just got to show you. Okay?
All right.
Sing myself.
This is Erica Kirk. Every time she glares, horror sounds play. Here we go.
We did what we usually did before tours. We said our prayer, and we asked the Lord to protect us, and we asked the Lord.
And I didn't notice that she did this until this. Now I can't stop seeing it. She like raises her eyes real big. I think it's like an intentional thing to get people's attention, but it looks really funny. And now I'm seeing it.
That His will be done.
There it is.
That's what we did.
At one time,
I'm doing it at the same time she does it.
She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop.
Dude, she is not helping the case, against her being like an evil villain.
Yeah, she should just take off for a year.
Have a softer face, Erica. You need to have a softer look about you.
Yeah, and stop putting such dark mascara on, bro. And I'm sad for her. And I'm not. I don't think she killed her husband too. All that Canada someone stuff is nuts. You know that. But
she should have taken like a 6-month break.
Should have taken a break. Yeah.
Should have taken a break. Mourn, take your time, mourn, and then come back strong 6 months to a year from now. Yeah. Nobody's going to forget him that time.
Yep, I agree.
You would have made a bigger impact.
Agreed.
Had you taken a break.
Yep.
But also wanting justice for them here on Earth.
No, of course. We serve a just God. And I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Whoever edited that together was brilliant.
I mean, that was so good. Shane, we're going to go to the members section pretty soon. And when we do, we're going to get real weird. I can't deal with straight.
That's great.
Oh man, this is what the internet was made for. I want you guys to know the internet wasn't made for a bunch of AI slop propaganda. It wasn't made for one dude reacting to another dude, reacting to another dude, reacting to another dude, reacting to a video that's 12 years old. It wasn't made for every single, let me try to get you to stay here on this Facebook reel for 20 minutes while I do something that should take 30 seconds. It wasn't made for that. It was made for this. Real, human, clever entertainment. That's what it was made for. This was what the internet was made for. I know we've bastardized the crap out of the internet, but you know what? I love that every once in a while, I see a video, a post, a Substack, an image that's clever, that someone spent time on, and there's human soul, and it's funny, or it's engaging, or it's inspirational, and it has none of the marks of, I'm just trying to get as many people to watch this for as long as possible so I can rug pull and bounce. This is what I like. And props to Danny on, just Danny, I guess, on Twitter.
It's just Danny.
Just Danny. The name is just Danny. Look her up. Just Danny. It looks like a she. I guess that can be a girl's name too. So
yeah, just be authentic. That's all anybody cares about.
Yeah. So we are going to the members section, guys. We love you so much. Have an awesome day. We'll see you over there in about 30 seconds. Shane, you have 5 seconds. Clear them out.
Okay. Well, listen, love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Adios.
See you in the members section, guys. Hit the join button below. I think I hit the button a little too early. We still have like 7 seconds. Let's pretend that no one can hear us talking right now. 5, 4, 3, 2. There we go.